At 91, Sophia Loren is finally breaking her silence about George Peppard, and what she has revealed is stirring up shock, sadness, and a wave of emotional reflection across Hollywood. For decades, these two legendary figures, icons of the golden age of cinema, were linked not through romance or scandal, but through a complicated working relationship marked by respect, tension, and a secret truth that Loren has kept quiet for over half a century. Now, in the twilight of her extraordinary life, she is speaking openly about the man who is both one of the most talented actors she ever worked with and one of the most troubled souls she ever encountered. Her revelation paints a portrait of George Peppard far different from the charming, polished Hollywood leading man audiences saw on the screen. Sophia Loren has always been known for her grace, dignity, and the almost royal silence she maintained about the private struggles of her co-stars. But when asked recently about her time with Peppard, she finally admitted that working with him was not easy. According to Loren, Peppard was a man battling demons long before they became visible to the public. Behind the confident smiles and the smooth, commanding presence was someone who felt trapped by the pressures of fame and crushed by the belief that he never received the recognition he deserved. Loren says she often saw him retreat into himself during filming, slipping into deep, troubled moods that affected everyone around him. She described him as a brilliant actor with a wounded heart, a man trying desperately to hold himself together while Hollywood pulled him apart piece by piece. One of the most heartbreaking moments Loren shared was her memory of Peppard's loneliness. Even when surrounded by cast and crew, she said, he seemed isolated, disconnected, as if no one truly understood him. She recalls long conversations in quiet corners between takes, moments where Peppard dropped his guard and confided in her about the frustrations that haunted him, failed relationships, battles with alcohol, and the overwhelming pressure of maintaining his leading man image while feeling emotionally fragile. Loren said she felt tremendous compassion for him, even when his unpredictable behavior made filming difficult. What audiences never knew, she said, was how deeply he longed for artistic respect, how much he felt overshadowed by other actors of his generation, and how that insecurity often manifested as anger, defensiveness, or withdrawal. Loren also revealed that several altercations between Peppard and directors or producers were not arrogance, as tabloids claimed, but symptoms of a man terrified of losing control. She remembered one moment in particular, when Peppard abruptly walked off set after a disagreement. Many assumed he was being difficult, but Loren later found him alone, hands shaking, fighting back tears. In that moment, she says, she saw not a star misbehaving, but a deeply sensitive man overwhelmed by his own emotions. It was then she understood how much pain he kept hidden behind his carefully crafted Hollywood facade. At 91, Loren says she chose to speak now because she believes Peppard deserves to be remembered not just for his flaws, but for his humanity. She said he had a kindness that few ever saw, a quiet generosity that went unnoticed, and a vulnerability that, in another time or place, might have been met with compassion instead of criticism. What breaks her heart most, she says, is knowing that Peppard died without ever finding the peace he longed for. Her final words about him are the ones that stunned fans the most. George was not difficult. George was hurting. With that single sentence, Sophia Loren has rewritten the legacy of a man long misunderstood and reminded the world that even Hollywood legends carry wounds the cameras never capture.